Bongiorno and Joe Meyer. And then we have our construction manager that organized the entirety of this project, Turner Construction. They are represented today by project executive David Brown. Then we have elected officials here today, which we're very pleased to hear taking time out of their busy schedules. So we have Hilliard City Council President Albert Ioso is here, Council Vice President Kelly McGivern, and City Council members Tom Baker and Pete Marsh. We thank you for attending today. We also have State Representative Laura Lanise. I'm not sure that this is her district, but she, as I'm told, came here as well. So very, very pleased that, Laura, you were able to come. We also have Joe Bengoshe, who is with the office of Congressman Steve Stiver. So thank you all for joining us and your long, steadfast support of us. So let me get to today's speakers. So last that I'll mention, and I'll go in the order in which they speak, is our CEO, Pat Lozinski. And for those of you who know him or those who may not, you would believe all of this is really part of what comes out of Pat's mind, and it's pretty impressive and visionary what he gives in terms of leadership. So we're very proud to have Pat as our leader and guide us through this. So thank you, Pat. We also have let me see who else we have. Make sure I got my notes here. Thank you. Okay. We also then, after that, we'll have the Hilliard City School Superintendent, Dr. John Marshausen, and of course any library partners with its school system, and we're trying to continue to involve and expand our relationship with Hilliard City Schools, particularly, as we come here into the 21st century. So we're looking forward to his remarks. We'll also hear from Hilliard Chamber of Commerce CEO Libby Gierock. Thank you for being with us today. We have Jordan Miller, who is the treasurer of the Columbus Metropolitan Library Foundation Board, and he's going to share some of the work that the foundation does to raise money for not only this branch, but for all of the branches that we have. And then, of course, we have the support from our state and county, upon which, if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have a Columbus Metropolitan Library system. So we have incredible representatives here today to speak to us. We have State Senator Stephanie Coonsey with us. We have State Representative Jim Hughes. And we have President of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners, Kevin Boyce. So thank all of you for spending time to come here with us today. But, this is about the youth, and we have a lot of adults up here talking, so we thought we'd share the stage with one of our Young Minds program volunteers that helps young children at the library here, particularly in the Hilliard branch. So we have Amira Peerboy here to say a few words. We'll have Robin Nesbitt, who is the branch manager. She gets to come here to work every day and lead and guide this beautiful library. I'm sure she's excited to make a few comments here. And then last but not least, first in my book here today, right after me, is the Hilliard Mayor, Don Schoenhart. He demonstrated exemplary leadership to get us where we are today in partnership with the library. So please join me in welcoming Mayor Schoenhart.
What happens when you're short? Thank you, Tim, for the kind words. I want to thank you all for being here today, and I want to tell all of you, let's figure this out, that most of you didn't have an opportunity to, that's not it. Don't touch their mic. You didn't have an opportunity to see this building before what you have before you today. And I can tell you that this is probably one of the best examples of reuse and renew that I have ever seen. We are standing in an area that is very open, open to daylight, open to sky. This was not that way when this was about to become the community center for a retirement community here in our community. And, I think that this is part of the vision that Pat had for the library, and that is to really make this as inviting a place as possible. And I don't think you could ask for a more inviting place than the one you're standing in today. Libraries, this is our 4th library here in the city of Hilliard. I didn't know, those of you who may not know that. And the cool thing about this library is over time, libraries started out as a home for books. and people would go in and they would check out their books and they would leave. But in today's world, that's not how it works. Libraries are a place for people, and this library could not be a better place for people than what you see around you. This library actually contains all of the books that were in the previous library over on Cemetery Road, and yet you can see that really it's designed around people. It's designed around community. And I want to say that this is probably the best example of collaboration that I have seen in Central Ohio between the city of Hilliard and Columbus Metropolitan Library. I remember the day when Patrick and Steve Prater came to my office, and David Meeks, the former Economic Development Director, and I were there, and he and I had already schemed to convince them to go on a little tour of a facility here in Hilliard that we thought might be of interest to them in lieu of expanding our existing library. And he looked at us a little bit like, what are you trying to get me into? But he came. He did shake his head a lot as we walked around the building, but ultimately I think what you see before you today is an example of faith and endurance and commitment, and something that we as the city of Hilliard can be extremely proud of, as well as the Columbus Metropolitan Library. And Tim, that little slip about that city up north, whose name we do not use here, I will tell you that Hilliard envy is becoming more and more the word of the day, because Hilliard is absolutely, I'm biased of course, but Hilliard is absolutely the best community here in Central Ohio, and I couldn't be more proud to serve as the mayor of this city and to say welcome to all of you to the largest branch library of the Columbus Metropolitan Library system. We have the largest circulation outside of the main library, and I expect that to continue to grow as we move forward. So I'm glad to see the families that are here today. This is a historic occasion, and I truly believe that this facility will serve us well into the future. So number 4 may be the number of charm for the Columbus Metropolitan Library here in Hilliard. So thank you all for being here, and once we're done, please take the tour. It's a fantastic facility. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to correct a statement. We actually circulate more than main library. We circulate the most. I'm not proud or anything. I am thrilled to be standing here today, welcoming each one of you here. I am so excited to work in this building. I came here 5 years ago, and when I came here, we're like, oh yeah, we're going to build this building in 6 months to a year. Here we are, 5 years later, right? But the reason this building is great is because of the staff, and you Hilliard customers know that, right? So let's give it up for the Hilliard staff. Right up here, guys. I'm not going to read their names, they're all in the program. I'd like to, just a little bit, over 2 weeks ago, we launched the Summer Reading Challenge, and that can't happen without all of our kids, our volunteers. Amr Peerboy was a volunteer for us and was an intern, and so we've asked Amr to share a few words with us today. Thanks.
Thank you, Robin. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amr Peerboy, and it is a great honor to be here representing the volunteers in such a momentous occasion. The previous branch has been there for 22 years. That's just 2 years older than I am. So I literally grew up in that branch. I have so many fond memories there, as I'm sure many of us do. I basically lived at the library. I remember my mom would always take me there, especially during the summer reading program. While other kids played outdoors, I would spend my summer buried under books, having adventures of my own. And while I was there, I saw the volunteers helping people out, signing people up for the summer reading program, and I was in awe. I was so inspired by them. I told my mom that when I grow up, I want to be a volunteer. And that's exactly what I did. And that's what I've been doing for the past 7 years. And I've enjoyed every single opportunity. Every single moment that I've been volunteering has been a pleasure. From the late nights at the Polar Express, to the long practices for the puppet corps, and who could forget the Turtle Lady? But none of my wonderful experiences would have been possible without the amazing staff we have here. They work tirelessly and always have a smile on their face. They are the ones who have really inspired me to volunteer to my highest potential. So now, here we stand at the beginning of a new era. It'll be sad to move from the old library, but it'll be very exciting to embark on this new adventure with you all. My hope is that this branch will become as much of a home for the next generation of kids as it has been for me. And I know this will happen because of the amazing staff we have here. They're the ones who truly make it home. So on behalf of all the volunteers, I want to thank all of those who made this move possible, and I really want to thank all the staff who make this library home. Remember, bad libraries build collections. Good libraries build services. Great libraries build communities. And the staff at this library have made it the greatest. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Jim Hughes, State Representative. It's a pleasure for me to be here in the Hilliard community. Looking out in the crowd, I think was stated earlier, what a great crowd for such a rainy day, to say the least, coming up here. This is a testament to the vibrant of the Hilliard community. It's been talked about that this library is the state of the art. And as we look, we see the little ones who are going to be using this as they grow up. But it's also going to be important for those adults who are trying to retool and get jobs. Because they're going to come here and have the opportunity to fix and refix their resume and hopefully get a better paying job. In addition, a library to me, probably because my mother was an English teacher, is a knowledge place. In a society, knowledge is so important. And with that, one of our great historians said this about it. That was Benjamin Franklin. He said, investment in knowledge pays the interest. This is what this library is doing. I also have, which I'd like to present and just hand to Patrick, and thank Patrick and Robin for their help, is a commendation signed by myself, Representative Onice, and the Ohio House honoring and the opening of this. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. I'm State Senator Stephanie Kunze, and I am so pleased and proud to be here today as a Hilliard resident. One of the things that brought my family and myself to Hilliard was the sense of community, and one of those things was our wonderful library. Like Amir, my kids grew up in the old library, and I could not be more pleased to be here today to open the doors for a whole new generation of children in Hilliard to experience. One of the vision statement for the library is a thriving community where wisdom prevails, and I think that is exactly what is happening here today. You can see all of the members of our thriving community and all of the resources here to help wisdom prevail, not only with the materials and the things that are here, but also with the people in the community that are here to really support all of us in Hilliard through this new beautiful building. So I'm pleased to present on behalf of the Ohio Senate a commendation to Robin and to the libraries to welcome you. And I'm also very super selfishly excited about Kerr Cafe because to be able to get a latte and read a book here is going to be amazing. So I have a commendation for them as well. And I am very much looking forward to story time as a guest reader here. So thank you very much for being here.
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Boyce, and I'm president of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners. On behalf of my colleagues, John O'Grady and Marilyn Brown, it's our honor to kick off this momentous occasion with you today. I'm reminded of one of the earliest memories that I have in life, being raised right here in Central Ohio as a child. When I was 16 years old, went to my grandmother and asked her to help me purchase a new pair of tennis shoes. She said, okay, grabbed her keys and her wallet, and immediately we were off. I was excited, she was excited. A few minutes later, we pulled into the local grocery store parking lot where my grandmother took me inside to fill out a job application as a bagger. The message then is very much the same today. If you want something in life, perhaps someone will provide the opportunity for you, but it's up to you to take advantage of it. To build on what Representative Hughes said, we're in Franklin County, named after Ben Franklin, who was an innovator, a theologian, and an academician. And what we know about his many contributions to America was that he was a contributor to the very first public libraries in the United States. In fact, in Franklin, Massachusetts, which is named after Ben Franklin also, was one of the first libraries, and asked him for bail to be contributed as part of the donation and ceremony, and he donated 116 books for one of the very first libraries. And so the idea of innovation, of dreaming for ideas and memories of childhood experiences, all start right here with the many books and the many resources that are made available to a wonderful community. So on behalf of Franklin County and the Board of Commissioners, it's our honor to dedicate and celebrate Hilliard, not Dublin, not yet anyways, Hilliard's wonderful opening of this tremendous institution. To our young people, congratulations to you, because you are going to get the most. This is the best Christmas, birthday, and gift that you could ever have. So thank you so much for being here, and Godspeed to the Hilliard community for this wonderful day.
Thank you, Kevin. My name is Jordan Miller. I'm the regional president for Fifth Third Bank. But I'm here today in my capacity as treasurer of the Columbus Metropolitan Foundation Board. So it's my honor to be here and see these beautiful children and to build another great library. So I've had the pleasure of being at the opening of several of the libraries that have already been done, including the Carnegie Library, which is downtown, which is a beautiful facility. But I don't think we've seen a crowd like this in any of those other openings. So you guys know how to do it. You guys really rock. The beautiful thing about the library, and on behalf of my colleagues on the foundation board, is really what we get to do in communities. It's life-changing experiences that we provide, the library provide. Opportunities for, obviously, kids. Everybody knows that kids get to learn how to read. But even for teens, as we had a great speaker here talk about teenage learning opportunities and making a life in Kevin's story. And then we have adult learning. So we never stop learning. And this is the beautiful thing about the library. It presents a continuous learning experience for all of us. And so it's a great place for us to come and take advantage. Now, I happen to be old school a little bit. I grew up in the library, but when we started talking about building all these new libraries, I thought, isn't everything going to be online? Isn't everything going to be, our books going to be obsolete? We don't see the books here, but the learning is what's important. The family gatherings and the community gatherings that take place, and the opportunity for adults to come to a center to rewrite their resume, to change their lives, along with the lives of the children. That's why we're here. So thank you so much for allowing me to speak on behalf of my colleagues at the foundation, and finally to know that it's possible is that the money that's raised for this library not only comes from public sources, but it also comes from community members, individuals, corporations, foundations. So we have a lot of help in making this happen. So thank you very much, and I'll let the next speaker go.
Good afternoon. I'm Libby Garrock, President and CEO of the Hilliard Area Chamber of Commerce, and thank you all again for coming. It was just a few short, well, not that short, but a while ago when we were at the old library and Pat came to show us with the design group all these great designs that we were going to have here in Hilliard, and a lot of us were just like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so great, and it is phenomenal. Much better than even our wildest expectations, so thank you for bringing this gem to our community. And this library is a true investment in our rapidly growing area. The new branch serves as an anchor for development, replacing what was an abandoned senior living facility to a vibrant community centerpiece, one that will serve the Hilliard community well in all the years to come. Libraries help people succeed, and the business community is no exception. The library is investing in our growing business community with the young people who will be our future workforce. The branch will serve established and inspiring business owners with a variety of resources, including vast, large meeting rooms to gather and collaborate. Full advantage of it every day. Thank you.
Just this past January, Realtor.com named Hilliard one of the hottest realty markets, one of the top 10 realty markets in the United States. And they cited our location, our schools, and our sense of community. Well, they can add something to that list that will keep Hilliard as one of the top places to raise a family, and that's a world-class library. And all of you being here speak to that true sense of community that we have. And I'd like to echo what Mayor Hart said. When we all come together, from the schools to the city council to the mayor's office to the county commissioners and our representatives,